Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frisco's Living. I'm Casey DeSantis.
Sometimes you got to try old things again new.
We're pouring through the paper, reading headlines.
I'm Curtis Dvorak. I usually look at this for my news, but
you know, there's something about the paper. I don't know. Call me old school, but I just like going through and getting your fingers dirty. You know, being able to see it in front of you. Whatever.
Sitting there with a paper in your hand and a frosty malt beverage. Nothing better on a Sunday afternoon.
That's right. Don't you love doing
Walking
that on
out in your robe and grabbing that paper from the paper boy as he tosses it up.
It's great, isn't it? I love it. By the way, if you had read the paper today, you would have seen what is coming to the St. John's Town Center. By the way, if you have driven by the Town Center, you can see that it's exploding. I
was just there this morning.
You were?
I just drove there this morning on my way in, and it's so funny. Anybody who's been there, on the opposite side of the street, they're building an entire whole new town center.
Yes, they are. They really are. And we're going to get into that in a second because a lot of them, those new buildings, are restaurants and really good ones. And we're going to profile the top 7 that you can expect to see there. But first, over by Topgolf, if you haven't been to Topgolf, by the way, it's awesome.
Look at this.
So much fun. They're bringing indoor skydiving.
iFly. It's called iFly. Apparently, they say there's a contract in place for a piece of land right near Topgolf. Actually, it's right across the retention pond there, if you've been there. iFly is an indoor wind tunnel that blows hard enough to keep someone midair. It's like basically skydiving inside. Orlando's had a location for a while. You can do 2 flights for 1 person at $70 each, and a flight lasts about 60 seconds.
60 seconds. We were talking about, before we came on the air, that you have done legitimate skydiving a bunch of times in your Jackson DeVille suit. Yeah,
I did that back in the day. I haven't jumped in probably 10 years. I have what's called a C license, which means you know, I can skydive on my own, and I got like 130 jumps. But I've never done this. It is, from everybody who does it, it's so fun, and it's a great way to actually learn kind of air awareness and how to fly your body.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It looks like so much fun, and it looks like you can do birthday parties there, and apparently there's more entertainment. I don't know what's going to come, but beyond Topgolf and iFly, they're going to do other things there. It's really exploding. By the way, when we were talking about
Is IKEA part of that?
I'm sure, but you have to build your own iFly.
Look at that. You see how high up we went and did a backflip? Oh, this is going to be so good. We got to do a show from there. We'll get you in there.
I would yes, I would absolutely do that with you.
Nice.
Well, with you, that's the kicker though, because this guy, he's, you know.
She recorded it. We're doing it. Said she'd do it.
Oh gosh, did I just lose it? Okay, so this morning, I wanted to find video of Jackson DeVille skydiving because I don't know if you've ever been to the games and you've seen you skydove.
Yeah, skydived in for the first like 7, 8 seasons, and then I switched to zip lines because they were more reliable. And one time the flight got canceled right before we were going to take off at Craig Airfield, and I had to make it from Craig Airfield back to the stadium at 12:15 for a 1 o'clock kickoff with Atlantic Boulevard all packed.
And you made it?
I made it back by hitching a ride in a convertible 67 Cadillac convertible. The guy happened to be going to the game. His friend was flying in on a private jet. He said, "I'm going to the game." I said, "Okay, cool. I need to get to the stadium," because the flight, we were going to skydive, but the winds got too strong.
Okay.
And so we couldn't do it. So they canceled it. And so he says, "All right, I'm going to the game." I said, "I get in. I have to be on the field at 12:48. So it's 12:20. Atlantic Boulevard, anybody who's been on it going to a game.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's where a lot of the congestion is.
It's backed up all the way down to almost 295. So we're in the left lane. We're sitting there stopped in traffic, and I go, I'm in the suit. I'm in full costume because I left the stadium in costume because I can't, you know, I'm skydiving in, landing the field.
Right.
So I go, just get in the middle lane. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, get in the middle lane. I'll pay the ticket. He gets in the middle lane down Atlantic Boulevard, and we go slow. We didn't, you know, we go slow down past all the traffic. Onto the median, past Regency Mall, and then down the Matthews Expressway as it's going, where people are backed up, and we're going down the grass.
And there you are in the giant suit.
I'm in the suit in a 67 Cadillac convertible like this, just go, go, go. People are yelling, "Jackson, you're going to be late." We get to the bridge. We finally get over. I jump out as you come over the Matthews Bridge. I jump out there, run across the lanes, sprint into the loading dock. My assistant, who we had called on the way there, had my scooter waiting. I hit literally 30 seconds before my intro, hop on my scooter, ride in. And I never did. After that, I was like, we're not doing skydiving anymore because it's too risky.
Yeah. Well,
besides the whole dying
how do you get there? Well, yeah, and then you know all the technical stuff that you were telling me about beforehand about how the winds, how they stop suddenly and blow from a totally different direction, which means your parachute could collapse. Which
don't worry, that won't happen to you.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm going to IKEA, whatever it is. iFly.
Whatever. IKEA is a new store.
But what was funny is that I wanted to find video of him skydiving. This is what started the whole conversation.
It's too long ago.
Well, but have you ever Googled yourself on YouTube?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there.
So it's like some of the videos that are on here, like Jackson DeVille eats paintballs. Jackson DeVille leaps from the roof of Wembley.
Yeah.
Hold on. Jackson DeVille mascot extraordinaire. Jackson DeVille bird hunting.
Yep.
Jackson DeVille dances in thong after losing bet. I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah.
That would be fun one of these days, just to play all of your old videos, and then you can tell us the story behind the story.
Yeah, somebody's compile some of those, but
what was
yeah.
the paintball thing?
I lost a bet. I had to take 43 paintballs to the chest from 10 yards away. That was not fun. We'll show the pictures some other time.
Okay.
But iFly we're going to do, but the restaurants is also something everybody's looking forward to.
There's a bunch of new restaurants that are coming there, so we thought we'd have fun and just profile some of the top 7 that you might not have heard about that are going to be making an appearance on the other side of the road, you know, as you're driving down. Blaze Fast Fired Pizza. Have you heard about this place? I guess they're going to be cooking pizzas in 180 seconds at the town center. It's kind of like, they say, a combination between Chipotle and Subway.
180 seconds.
180
so that's
seconds.
Like start to finish?
I think that's once you stick it in the oven. That's how long it takes to cook.
Well, V Pizza already does it in 90 seconds.
Well, there you go. Okay.
I'm just
well,
saying.
you know, the competition is there. Isn't that what makes America great? Competition. Yes. Cheddar's Kitchen, by the way. Have you ever been to a Cheddar's? Cheddar's is coming.
Cheese. Probably a lot of cheese in that.
It's just any place that is titled Cheddar's just makes you want to go.
What is that, a fondue place? I've never heard of this one.
No, but everything is from scratch, I guess. There's nothing frozen. They just, it's from scratch kitchen. They get it that day. They whip it up. There you go.
The Darden restaurants. That's who owns it.
Darden owns it. Like Olive Garden, they own those. Okay. I don't know how to say this next one. Chewy's?
Chewy's.
Yeah. Chewy's.
Hand-rolled tortillas?
Yeah.
All right. I like the design of all these buildings. That's the one thing I really like about restaurants and places, when they really do visual kind of stimulation as you walk up to the place. So all these places are going to look really cool.
Yeah. So they've got Tex-Mex, Mexican food. Firebirds. Have you heard of this place? Okay, we couldn't find any other. Okay. So wood-fired grill, new to Jacksonville, by the way, but they're going to be smoking like prime rib, fillets, all this kind of stuff on like oak, pecan, hickory, apple. I don't know. This next one, have you been to Fogo de Chao?
No.
Oh, go hungry. Because it's a Brazilian steakhouse.
Okay, I like that one.
And so they've got, you know, the salad bar.
Where you load everything in a bowl.
Right. Well, yeah.
And then they put it on the skillet.
No. Have you ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
Maybe I'm thinking Mongolian barbecue.
I think that's what you're thinking.
Mongolian barbecue.
Which is equally as good, by the way.
Totally different than Brazilian. It's a completely different continent.
Which is totally different.
That
yonder.
Other one's that
over
way.
there. No, you know, they come by and they'll cut the meat at your station. They bring different types of beef, the prime rib, the filet mignon, the chicken.
Will they take like a giant bell pepper and shave off the side of that for me and Yaz?
I don't know. That's
big carrot, big roasted carrot, and they shave off the side of the carrot for vegetarians.
You can just go to the salad bar and then forget everything else. But they
I want a big giant bell pepper, and you shave off the side of it for me. Otherwise, I'm not coming, Fogo de Chao.
Red Robin. Everyone's raving about Red Robin. Why are people going nuts about Red Robin? Chanel was going crazy about Red Robin.
Red Robin, yum.
The commercials? Oh, okay. I haven't seen the commercials.
Yeah, Red Robin, yum is their tagline there. Plus, they have like a really good sauce. What's the sauce they got? For the fries or something?
Was it on the?
We'll find out tomorrow.
I think they're opening up, so we'll just have to take a trip over there.
We need to do a food tour of the town center. Yes. When are these all opening, by the way?
I don't know. Don't ask me questions I can't answer.
They didn't look like they were ready to open just yet. Taco Bell, I did see a new one of those, though.
Yeah. I didn't include that in the list. I figured that was kind of one of those, you know, they kind of plug those in everywhere.
What's this one?
Texas de Brazil, which is another Brazilian steakhouse.
So suddenly Brazilian steak. Now, see, look at that design. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like the outside of that building. So they're going to be competing with Fogo de Chao, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But great. Again, good competition. Lots of great food. I mean, that's really turning out to be the place to be.
Then when they compete, we win.
Right, exactly.
That means prices and deals and all kinds of stuff. This is
economics 101, the whole supply and demand.
Yeah.
Just remember that. I was an economics major. Just remember this.
Speaking of economics,
yes.
Before we move on, this was in Sunday's paper. The Jags talking about, it shows the pie chart of where their season ticket holders are from, where their single game ticket purchasers are from.
Interesting.
Obviously, mostly Duval, but they're trying to expand past the 75-mile radius and become a regional team, which I thought was cute because we tried that in the late 90s and early 2000s. But hey, let's try it again.
Okay, well, there you go.
Speaking of food, If it seems you're seeing more and more food trucks these days, it's probably not your imagination.
No, nationwide, they have grown at a rate at 10% a year over the last decade. And nationwide, there are about 4,000 of them. I mean, food trucks are just about everywhere. So CNBC's Kate Rogers, she spotlighted several food trucks, the operators who have really hit it big owning food trucks. Take a look.
When Ben Van Leeuwen and his partners started making their artisan ice cream in Greenpoint, Brooklyn back in 2008, they had no idea what a hit it would become.
There you go.
With just $50,000, Van Leeuwen Ice Cream hit the streets of New York City looking for the perfect location.
We drove to the corner of Green and Prince, and by the time we had opened the window, there was a line of 30 people. This is the peanut butter chip.
And the crowds kept coming. Today, the company has 6 food trucks and 9 storefronts in both New York and Los Angeles. Their ice cream, featuring unique flavors like honeycomb and vegan mint chocolate chip, even retails in Whole Foods in the Northeast and California. And the business is on track to do $20 million in revenue next year. Food trucks like Van Leeuwen's have been growing at a faster rate than traditional restaurants over the past decade, but that growth is expected to slow in the years to come due to regulatory hurdles.
It's very challenging to make them work financially in New York City. In other markets, it's much better. In Los Angeles, it's very truck friendly.
In Austin, Texas, former attorney Eric Silverstein launched his food truck, The Peached Tortilla, back in 2010 after he couldn't raise the capital he needed for a brick and mortar restaurant.
Biggest challenge early on was just staying mentally strong and trying to run this business when you're not taking a paycheck. If you're doing it, you got to be ready for, an all-out war on the street, basically.
Silverstein won that war, eventually opening a restaurant featuring his Asian and Southern-influenced tacos. He still takes his 2 trucks out for lunch and catering and expects to do more than $3 million in revenue this year.
You are all set with your heart attack.
MacMart's Marty Lieberman also went the brick-and-mortar route after her mac and cheese food truck became a hit in Philadelphia in 2013.
It was only within the first few months of being on the truck that our first catering jobs came in, which is an aspect of the business we didn't even realize would be so lucrative.
She and her sister Pamela wound up launching a MacMart storefront, still using the truck for catering and private events. The truck is booked up through 2018, and her business is set to do about $1.5 million in sales in 2017.
People come from New York, people come from Los Angeles, people have come from England. We get requests from Brazil. It's just super rewarding to hear how many people love our product. You have a wonderful day. You're welcome.
I mean, we are in the wrong business.
Yeah,
you and I need to go start a food truck, although.
That's what's so, well, neither of us are good cooks.
Step 1, have you seen us in the Publix kitchen? If you have.
Master your skill is like the first step to being successful.
Okay,
we don't have that accomplished. But yeah, no, there's restaurants going to food trucks, adding food trucks becoming restaurants. Yeah, it's
yeah. So I watch the Shark Tank from time to time, and so there are people that'll come on. They say, "I have this great thing. I'm killing it in the food trucks. I have 3 food trucks. We're making a bundle. I want to go to a brick and mortar." And they're like, "If you have a good thing going, why do you want the expense and the overhead of going to a physical location? If get more trucks."
Yeah.
But when you find out that they're making $1 million, $2 million a year in food trucks
nuts.
and selling food,
I think I want to add one to Shim Sham Room now.
Ah.
Because that's some of the best food at the beach. It's it's kind of a cult following. We don't really advertise it that much.
There you go. And see, also, not only can you get the food out there, you get the brand out there with the name. It's like a mobile billboard.
But if you could deliver drinks like cocktails, mobile cocktail trucks, that would be great. What? We have drive-through liquor stores.
Do we here? We used to have one in Ohio back in the day, but I don't know if those are still, if those are legal anymore. I don't know.
That's just a complete oxymoron. I don't know how you can drive through a liquor store and grab a single.
Well, this was like in Ohio where I grew up. It was one of those convenience stores, so they had a little bit of everything, but they did have alcohol there. I don't know if they had liquor per se. I don't.
Probably
know.
Frosty malt beverages.
Frosty malt beverages they did have.
Always have those. After the break, folks.